Let me thank all of those who helped organize the event, those who have spoken, and I want to say a special word of thanks. I want to say he disappeared, but I want to say a special word of thanks to Danny Glover. As all of you know, Danny is not just a great actor. Danny has been a social activist for his entire adult life. Danny, thank you all very much for what you do. Now, our campaign is about two fundamental issues. Number one, we are going to defeat Donald Trump, the most dangerous president in the history of this country. We are going to defeat Donald Trump because the American people do not want a president who is a pathological liar. We are going to defeat Donald Trump because the American people know that he is running a corrupt administration, that he is undermining American democracy, that not only is he a liar, he is a fraud. You know, this is a candidate who told the American people that he believed in health care for all and then tried to throw 32 million people off the health care they had. This is a president who said, I will not cut Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, and in his budget, he did exactly what he said he would not do. This is a president who said, my tax proposal is not going to benefit the wealthy, but 83% of the benefits went to the top 1%. Now, we are going to defeat Trump because our campaign is doing something that has never been done in modern American history. We are putting together the strongest grassroots movement multi-generational, multiracial. Trump is trying to divide our people up. We're bringing our people together. Black and white and Latino, Native American, Asian American, we stand together. For an agenda and a government that represent all of us, not just the 1%. The American people are sick and tired of massive levels of income and wealth inequality. They are tired of 3 people owning more wealth than the bottom half of America. They are tired of tax breaks for billionaires when 500,000 Americans are sleeping out on the streets. They're tired of working 2 or 3 jobs, and 49% of all new income goes to the top 1%. So today we say to Wall Street and the insurance companies and the drug companies and the fossil fuel industry, today we say to the military-industrial complex and their endless wars, today we say to the prison industrial complex, today we say to the entire 1% that we're going to create a government that represents working people, not just wealthy campaign contributors. But it is not only a rigged economy, it is a corrupt political system. It is a system that allows billionaires like Trump to get massive amounts of campaign contributions from his billionaire friends. It is a system that allows a multi-billionaire, Mike Bloomberg, worth $60 billion, now, Mr. Bloomberg, like anybody else, has a right to run for president. He does not have a right to buy the presidency. Especially after being mayor of New York and having a racist stop and frisk policy. Especially after opposing, imagine a multi-billionaire opposing a raise in the minimum wage. Imagine a multi-billionaire asking for cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. The American people are tired of billionaires buying elections. That's why we are going to overturn Citizens United. And that is why we're going to move to public funding of elections. Now, Mr. Bloomberg and others can go to billionaires for their fundraising, but I am proud, and everybody here should be enormously proud, that our campaign together has raised more campaign contributions from more Americans, averaging $18.50. More contributions than any candidate in the history of the United States of America at this point in an election. As somebody who grew up in a family that lived in a rent-controlled apartment, that lived paycheck to paycheck, I am proud that we are a campaign of the working class, by the working class, and for the working class. Now, the corporate elite, all you got to do is turn on the TV. Corporate elite, Wall Street, and the drug companies getting very nervous. And they should get nervous. Trump and the Republican Party are getting nervous. And they should get nervous. And the Democratic establishment is getting nervous, and they should get nervous. And I hear the establishment saying, oh, Bernie can't win the election. Take a look at this crowd today and tell me we can't win the election. So what this campaign is about, it's obviously about beating Donald Trump, but it is more than that, brothers and sisters. It is more than that. It is about transforming our government and our economy. It is about ending the absurdity of millions of workers in this country earning starvation wages. We're going to raise that federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. We believe in equal pay for equal work. And brothers and sisters, we're going to make it easier, not harder, for workers to join unions. And we're going to put millions of working people to work at good-paying jobs, building 10 million units of low-income and affordable housing. It is a moral obscenity that in our country tonight, 500,000 people will sleep out on the streets. Together, we end that obscenity. Our country believes in young people. We believe in education. In the richest country in the history of the world, we must move to universal, high-quality, affordable child care. In the richest country in the world, no, we're not going to invest in charter schools. We're going to invest in public education. Tripling funding for low-income Title I schools. I want all kids in this country, regardless of their zip code, to get the quality education they need to succeed in life. And because we believe in education, we believe in educators, our teachers. And we are going to fight to make sure that every teacher in America earns at least $60,000 a year. We are going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. You know, 12 years ago, against my vote, the Congress voted to bail out the crooks on Wall Street. 2 years ago, Trump and his friends, against my vote, gave $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1% and large corporations. Well, if Congress can bail out the crooks on Wall Street and give tax breaks to billionaires, we can cancel all student debt in this country. And I'll tell you what else. I'll tell you what else we're going to do. Something that is on the minds of people from Vermont to California. And that we are going to end the international disgrace of being the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right. And I want to thank the National Nurses Union and all of the other unions out there who know that health care is a human right, not a privilege. We are going to take on the greed and corruption of the pharmaceutical industry. We are not going to pay 10 times more for the same exact prescription drugs as they do in Canada or in Europe. Under Medicare for all, people go to any doctor they want, they go to any hospital they want. We're going to expand Medicare to cover dental care, to cover eyeglasses, hearing aids, and home health care as well. No more premiums, no more deductibles, no more co-payments, no more out-of-pocket expenses. A recent study from Yale University just indicated that we save over $300 billion a year by moving to Medicare for all. We're going to end the absurdity of Americans paying twice as much as the people of any other country, while we have 87 million uninsured or underinsured, 30,000 dying, and 500,000 people going bankrupt because of medically related bills. So today we say to the drug companies and the insurance companies, the function of a rational healthcare system is quality care for all, not huge profits for the drug companies. Now, Donald Trump, he thinks that climate change is a hoax. Well, I think Donald Trump is a hoax. And under our administration, we're going to listen to scientists, not right-wing extremists. I am proud to tell you that we have introduced the most comprehensive and bold climate change proposal ever introduced by any federal candidate. Based on the principles of the Green New Deal, we are going to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. And when we do that, we're going to create up to 20 million good-paying union jobs. And not only are we going to transform our own energy system, but we understand that climate change is a global problem. It's not just an American issue. And my job as president will be to speak to the people in China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Brazil, countries all over the world, and make it clear that instead of spending $1.8 trillion every year on weapons of destruction designed to kill each other, maybe we should pool our resources, fight our common enemy, which is climate change. And when we talk, and when we show the world that we have the guts to tackle difficult problems, Together, we are going to bring fundamental reform to a broken and racist criminal justice system. This is America. We must not continue having more people in jail than any other country on earth. Together, we are going to invest in our young people, in jobs and education, not jails and incarceration. Today, 400,000 people right now are in jail not having been convicted of anything. They cannot afford bail. Together, we will end cash bail in America. Together, we will end private prisons and detention centers. Together, we will end the destructive war on drugs and legalize marijuana in every state in this country. And together, we will expunge the records of those arrested for the sale of marijuana. And when we talk about broken and racist systems, we are going to bring about comprehensive immigration reform in this country. No more demonization of the undocumented. We, on day one, through executive order, will repeal all of Trump's racist immigration executive orders. On day one, we will restore the legal status of 1.8 million young people and their parents eligible for the DACA program. On day one, we will begin the process of ending our current border policy. We, under our administration, will not have federal agents snatching babies from the arms of their mothers. We will not be throwing children into jails. We will not tolerate ICE raids, which are terrorizing communities all over America. Trump wants to divide us up. We're going to bring our people together, black and white and Latino. All of us are horrified by the level of gun violence we see in America. Now, I'm proud to have a D- voting record from the NRA. As president, I'll do better. I'm looking forward to an F rating. Because under our administration, it will be the American people who determine gun policy, not the NRA. And that means universal background checks, ending the gun show loophole, ending the straw man provision, and ending the sale and distribution of assault weapons in this country. Now, as a United States Senator, I hear a lot of speeches from my conservative Republican colleagues on the floor. And their mantra, as you know, their mantra is they believe in small government and getting the government off the backs of the American people. That's what they say. Well, I say to those hypocrites, if you believe in getting the government off the backs of the American people, understand that it is women who have a right to control their own bodies, not the government. So my promise to you is I will never nominate anyone to the Supreme Court or the federal bench who is not 100% pro Roe v. Wade. We will codify Roe v. Wade and put it into law. And we will substantially increase funding for Planned Parenthood. Women, not the government, should be controlling their own lives. Brothers and sisters, this is the most consequential election in the modern history of our country. And on Super Tuesday, California is voting. And I don't have to tell any of you, I think you all know, you are the largest state in this country. You have the most delegates to the Democratic National Convention. And the candidate who wins here in California stands a pretty good chance to win the nomination. So today I'm here to ask you to vote early, to bring your aunts and uncles and grandparents and friends and co-workers out. But let me say this, here in California, every state has its own thing with regard to elections. And here in California, we have a situation where no party preference voters, NPPs, now make up the second largest political affiliation in the state behind Democrats. And here is the point. There are almost 5.5 million NPPs in California. Please, if you are an NPP, a no-party preferential, please make sure to check your voter registration today. And if it says you are an NPP, meaning your voter registration does not say Democrat, and you want to vote for us, please change your registration to Democrat. In other words, you may get a ballot and no presidential candidates' names will be on that ballot. Your vote will not count. So please do everything you can and get a Democratic ballot so that we can win here in California. And also, let me conclude by saying this. This is an unprecedented moment in American history. We, in our campaign, are not just taking on Trump and the Republicans, not just taking on the Democratic establishment. We're taking on Wall Street. We're taking on the drug companies, the insurance companies, all of these guys. And the message of our campaign, we said it over and over again, is us, not me. And what that means, it means two fundamental things, pretty important things. Number one, it means that we understand that as human beings, we're in it together. Every family in America has its problems. Every family. And what us, not me is about is that my family has got to care about your family. Your family has got to care about my family. We're in it together. And the second thing that it means is that if you study American history, you know that real fundamental change never takes place from the top on down, always the bottom on up. That is the history of the labor movement in America. That is the history of the civil rights movement in America. That is the history of the women's movement in America. That is the history of the gay rights movement in America. And that's the history of the environmental movement all over the country right now. All over the world right now. You've got groups like the Sunrise Movement. All over the world, young people are saying, we want a planet where our kids will grow up in a healthy and habitable environment. And what we understand is to take on the economic establishment, these enormously powerful people who have endless amounts of money, Wall Street, the drug companies, the insurance companies. We understand that no president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can do it alone. We need a mass political movement. And what the establishment is trembling about right now, they're crying on television. What they are trembling and fearful of is that working people are standing up demanding decent wages. That all over this country, people are saying health care is a right, not a privilege. That young people want a higher education without going deeply into debt. That all over the world, people are demanding a planet that is healthy and habitable and taking on the fossil fuel industry. So we are in this together because at the end of the day, and I say this as a U.S. Senator who knows something about this, at the end of the day, the 1% is enormously powerful. They own the media. Wall Street and all of these other entities, enormously powerful. They have endless amounts of money. But at the end of the day, the 1% is 1%. And if we do not allow Trump and his friends to divide us up based on the color of our skin or where we were born or our sexual orientation or our religion, if we stand together for an agenda that works for all, there is nothing that will stop us, will defeat Trump, will transform this country. Thank you all very much.